Welcome to Mid-Season Review, brought to you by the Edamame Anime Club. I'm Steve, and I'm joined by my co-host,
Squid.
Joel.
And we're doing something a little different here. By divine intervention, we are all together, and with things said, we've been watching an anime, and we only got to episode 7. It's going to have about 12 episodes, so we will do a full review later on. But we decided to do a mid-season review because we're all here, and we just watched the latest episode that dropped. What anime we're doing?
We are doing The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World.
Yeah, I mean, this was an interesting anime. I mean, one, there's 7 episodes out, and I've been thinking about watching it already.
Same.
So whenever you recommended watching it, I thought it was a good watch. So let's go ahead and crack these bad boys open. Kenpai. So, like every anime, we're going to go ahead and give it a full comprehensive review of what we think. First off, we'll start off with some just brief notes. No spoilers yet. I'll read some reviews. They might have spoilers in them, but I won't read it yet. I just want your quick take on it, like why we decided to watch it.
All right. Well, I guess I recommended it because I've always been a huge fan about Power Rangers, and I know a lot about it. And so, like, when they came out with Go Lose a Ranger, I was reading the manga, and I watched that one, and it was really good. And then I heard about this one from a clip, so I was like, oh, shit, I want to watch that. And then when we were trying to figure something out, I mentioned it to him, and he said he wanted to watch it, too.
Yeah, and I think you by general default.
I didn't even know it was an anime. I never heard of it, and they were just like talking about it, with this long ass title, and I'm just like, all right, let's go.
well, the actual name is Sentai Red Isekai de Boko Nisha ni Naro.
Yes,
that's the name.
But I ain't gonna try to say that.
Yeah, and I've been a huge Power Ranger fan from the 90s. Mm-hmm. I thought it was really interesting watching it. I'm really happy that they used the Red Ranger, just because we get a lot of Green Ranger hype. And I did just finish Go Lose a Ranger like a month ago, and I thought it was pretty good.
Blue was always my favorite Ranger.
Billy,
David Yost. Yes.
Yeah, he was great.
But, I mean, I guess it really depends on the season too, though, because every season has like that one Ranger that stands out, and it's not always like the same color.
So I'm going to go ahead and give some reviews. So there might be some spoilers here. Just giving you a heads up. This technically is not our spoiler section, but there might be some spoilers here. So this one is a rating out of 9. If you like Power Rangers and Super Sentai, then this might be the right anime for you. It's funny. It's decently animated. The MC only gets better as time goes by, and the characters and the story are quite interesting. I highly recommend the manga, which has much more content, and the art is excellent. I would say the Red and Maid are quite mature characters, especially Red. Even though the isekai genre is oversaturated these days, I would say it's still a good show and one that makes you want to watch more. I even bought the first volume of the series to help out, and it's pretty cool. I recommend if you want to pass the time or have a few laughs. So, sorry, I'm not the best reader here. Y'all know that, but I did really good. I sounded out some of the words.
You did. I know. Yeah. I like that you backtracked to fix your mistake.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. And I was already prepared to read this too. That's the sad part. So, what do y'all think?
We were going to say that, but okay.
What do y'all think? It's a solid.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
It's solid. It's not overly hyping it. Because, I mean, there's still some more episodes to come out, but from what's out now and everything, it was really good. And, I mean, it made me kind of want to read the manga. I may pick up a couple volumes and check it out. Yeah. Especially if, they're saying the artwork is really good. I would like to see that.
Do you think that from a Power Rangers fans would like this? If they're not watching it already?
I think so, yeah. It's got a lot. I was going to get into this in a little bit once we get to, I guess, the spoiler.
Well, you say yes or no.
Yes.
That way you can save that for the good stuff.
Yes.
I definitely felt that Power Rangers vibe, from whenever I did watch it as a kid, I mean, it just kind of brought it back. And so I was like, definitely, I feel like they would love it.
I agree. This one is a not recommended. It's a rating it's 4. I'm assuming out of 10. They don't tell you. I enjoyed the comedy of the series I enjoyed the comedy of the series quite a lot, and I loved the first episode. But when the show started taking itself too seriously, aka episode 2 onwards, I lost all the interest. The world building is extremely generic, the production is poor at best, and then good comedy is lost amongst walls of boring text. Overall, Red Ranger has some wasted potential. I think this show had a good shot at being a very entertaining comedy, yet it is an action-adventure anime instead. And the writing and the directing are miles behind what would be necessary for such an anime. I can't really recommend this show to anyone as it's just a generic low-value isekai with few interesting comedic elements thrown in the middle that are lost amidst a sea of mediocrity. Couple things. Well, we'll go ahead, jump into it, and then I'll jump in.
I was just gonna say, I mean, how much did they watch? Because I mean, I get what they may say on episode 2, but it really does pick up by 3 and 4 because it starts to add in the main core of the arc, the main core of what they're doing right now in it.
I will say there shows what episode they were on. It was episode 3, so that makes sense. But honestly, I think that I'm not sure if this guy's ever watched an anime before, but he's just saying I think he thinks all anime are supposed to be funny.
Yeah,
because he kept it's not supposed to be a comedy. It is a comedy, but it's not necessarily that's not the main value of it all.
Yeah.
There's a lot of genres we can put this anime in, and actually, one of them, I'm surprised. Definitely, you can put it as a comedy, an action, an isekai. Actually, you had another word for it. That when you die, you'll end up in
it's what I thought it was, which was what is it, Tensuru?
Yes, yeah.
Getting reincarnated.
So, there's a lot, and also, I mean, there is a fan service aspect to it all.
Yeah.
Which I did not expect, so that was kind of...
I'm glad it's not oversaturated, though. It's not like a lot.
No, it's good. It's good. And, and a little fan service doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah, it makes it funny.
I mean, honestly, I love a good fan service. I'm a big fan of fan service.
I know that.
I still put Prison School as one of the top 10 anime out there. It go toe to toe with anyone. But
Prison School is very unique.
I think Prison School is a great anime. It's very funny. If you like a good comedy, that one's good.
No,
but this one had really good humor throughout. I really fell in love with the characters. And we're going to get into the characters in a bit, but I really thought I love the characters. I did do some self-inserting. I'm sure I'll tell you who I felt like I self-inserted.
I saw you doing some self-inserting on some of those scenes.
Yeah, so there's a lot that I got out of this anime. But listening to reviews like that, and I get it, not everyone they come in here blind or whatever, they have their own opinion. I'll tell you right now, it really is hard finding a good anime review that you can actually trust. Because people are just going to write a long essay that they're going to turn into their professor, and they're going to get an A on it because they put so much time and energy into it. It's like, where do you get the time to do that? I
mean, shit, it's even what we're saying right now. You don't have to trust us. It's just what we think.
It's not that serious.
Sorry.
You gotta
trust us.
Yeah, no. Our word is law. Trust us.
You gotta trust us on this. Yes.
Please
You gotta trust us on this. So I will say right now, and normally we don't do this. We're about to get in the spoiler sections. I'm gonna recommend you watch the anime, and then come back and finish the review section. That's a recommendation for me.
All right.
I'm sure you guys agree to recommend to watch it.
Definitely, yes.
100%.
Definitely a good anime to watch. Check it out, guys. Pause the video. Come back later and let us know what you think about it. And the comments. We always read the comments. We like, subscribe, tell everyone, tell your friends. We're going to get right into the spoiler section with the introduction, which out of this whole week, we've been filming a lot of anime. We finally got an introduction. What did y'all think? The OP.
I mean, I liked it. It was good. It doesn't really show too much of what's to come, so you don't get anything really spoiled. It kind of just shows the world and some of the first episode fights and just the characters, really. Just the characters going to be coming in and out, so it's very tasteful, and the song is actually...
Yeah, it's good.
The song is decent, yes. It's not like one of those bangers.
Okay. It's not going to end up on your Spotify top list.
Definitely not. But I mean, it's a decent intro.
Yeah. I think the music's good. I'll be real honest. The actual introduction scene's very generic. Nothing wrong with that. I just plain Jane. So I will say this: the outro though was pretty good. I love the chibi style. I love the chibi style. They're playing soccer and.
It's just completely out of world, just completely different than what the anime actually is. It has them it shows them in front of the high school and stuff, like how you said they're playing soccer and stuff. So. It's just completely different from the anime.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love that they did that. Now, as far as an introduction to the actual anime, let's get into the story and the plot. I mean, essentially, I don't think we're ever gonna get that final battle in his original world. He's fighting Big Bad, and he ends up sacrificing himself to do one final punch, and he ends up dying, waking up into the new world.
I don't know if he actually dies.
I think because they had mentioned something in there saying that whatever he did in his world that made him teleported him into their world. I don't think he died.
But that's what they're getting at, though.
Yeah, because usually when they die in like the one type he said and stuff, you see them die. Like
and they're reincarnated into something else.
Like Evidence in Shadow, he literally gets hit by a truck. Oh no,
that's Mashiko Tensei.
Or does he go off the cliff? Either way, he dies and gets reborn as a baby in the new world, and then grows up.
And then Slime, he gets stabbed, and then.
But have you ever seen them die though?
Yes, they're like dying.
Yes,
like
you see them die.
In Slime, he's stabbed, and then he's like dying, and then I think he was dying in his intern's arms, and he was like, and one of the last things he told him to was like destroy his computer, like.
Okay, I'm going to go off the two that we've done, not us, but me and the other members of the Edamame Anime Club. We did Mashoko Tensei, where he did get hit by a car. We don't know if he died. I'm assuming, making the assumption.
Usually when they show that, it's because they die.
And then the other one is reincarnated as a vending machine. Now I wander the jungle. Now I wander the dungeon. Whatever it is, he gets there's a car accident. So it really is hard to say, but we're never gonna find out. If he died. Unless they say, like, oh, it's your punch or whatever you did.
Well, it's because, just because, with the Suicide Isekai, they, I saw the first episode, they, teleport. They don't die. That's what makes it an Isekai as opposed to the one he said. Because they die in that, and that's why it's that.
Well, either way, it's, it does introduce we get a small introduction of his old world.
Yes.
Very brief. And then after that, it's a bunch of flashbacks.
Yes.
Now, as far as him being, coming into this world, being an adventurer, I think it's just a solid story. Very, very, very. It's, in my opinion, it's a little played out. But I mean, even though it's played out, the fact that they still do it and they have a different route they're taking, I think it's fine.
Yeah, I do too.
So the story, I think, was good. Do you have any comments on the story of the plot?
No, I thought the plot was solid. It explores during the first episode, if he even tried to leave in the beginning or what he did kind of for those 6 months. Because it does 6 months after he gets there when he starts to really picks up the story.
That's true.
And but it explains it all. It doesn't really keep it open-ended. It tells what he was doing. It shows little flashbacks of stuff he was doing and why he decides to become an adventurer and why he ends up where he is in the beginning to start off the entire story. But yeah, I thought it did really well.
Yeah.
I agree. No.
Okay. Definitely. And honestly, now we can get into kind of the characters of this anime before we get into kind of memorable scenes, and then we can talk about the pop culture references.
Yeah.
But really, the Red is just a lovable character.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Red Ranger. He's a leader. He's a all around. Yeah.
They did something different, and maybe you can touch on this. Because I've only watched the original Power Rangers. This idea of bonding, is that something in the Power Rangers where they have to bond with each other?
No,
Okay, then that's perfect.
It's always been there's never been bonding. It's just they form their relationships with each other as they become the Rangers and everything. But it's never been the way it is in the show where they need to have that tie to be powerful.
Right, because I think they weren't really friends before. In Power Rangers, they weren't main friends or anything. They were just kind of gathered together, and then through this, they became friends.
The only one is Mighty Morphin. They all knew each other. When it goes into Zero, they know each other. But all the seasons past in space, they never know each other before they get pulled together to be a team.
Yeah,
because the first four kind of bring the same characters together.
But I think that's the whole thing for this one, though, is that they have to form that bond, because in the weapons that they were using, you was talking about how, when Yellow Ranger was fighting with Blue Ranger,
it wouldn't work.
The weapon wouldn't work because they had a little hostility towards each other.
They wanted to have a different take.
Well, yeah, so the reason I'm asking that is I actually like that they're bringing this aspect of the bonding. I really like that because there was a lot of bonding throughout the anime, and really, it starts off with the disagreement between those other adventurers, and then I'm gonna butcher her name, Yihdra.
Oh yeah.
It's
I don't even try with the names. I don't even try with the names.
YHI.
I want to say Yihdra.
Yeah, I will find out exactly, but
Unless I really like them, it takes me like 3 watches for me to get used to the names.
Yes, it's Yihdra.
I mean, we watched it subbed as well, so we didn't hear it ever pronounced for us to understand.
So I'll go through the characters in a bit, but yeah. So that whole bonding thing was kind of cool. I thought it was interesting that was kind of and really I really love the Red Ranger. I actually self-insert as a Red Ranger in the sense that he was just such a well-rounded, nice guy.
Yeah,
and he's always doing the right thing. He always just wants to help, and I feel that. I feel like that's such a beautiful character. Even whenever that one villain is like shitting on him about the bonding for a bit.
Yeah, he even stopped because he was like relaying to him.
Yeah, so I think the Red Ranger is good. I'm gonna call him Red. So what do you think about the female lead?
Yihdra.
Yihdra.
You can go first.
Okay. I think she's pretty funny. Definitely a fan service.
Yes, very much so. The first scene, I think. Right? The first scene.
Put a T-shirt on her. Jeez.
But I kind of feel like she's, you can definitely tell the character development is in there, especially towards the end, or I guess the endings of these episodes that we had watched. But all in all, pretty cool character. She uses magic, which is pretty cool.
She's well rounded, and I love the love that they have for each other. She's catching feelings for Red.
Yes,
and I really like that throughout the entire anime. It's just they put in these very, very predictable scenes
situations
where they're like on top of each other, or like he keeps running into them naked. So there's just a lot that goes into it, and it makes me laugh every time.
But I like. Sorry.
No, that's what
I'm sorry. I like they're not pushing it either, though. It's not like every scene has to do with some kind of charged moment. It's like few and far between. Like there's one like each episode usually, but it's not. It's not a lot. It's not like forcing these characters together. It's showing them growing towards each other.
Even though it kind of develops into that, though, especially with the new, I guess, magic that she has with the bracelet and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like their bond is so strong,
right?
Yeah,
and I like that. But I'm the opposite. I want those chemically charged moments where they're like just infatuated with each other.
Yeah,
and I feel like you get that. Like the only one that really does it do it right, in my opinion, because they always do a will they or won't they with everyone, and you'll never get the will they. It's always the almost, but. Sword Art Online did a really good job of that.
They did.
Yeah, where they finally brought them together. So
yes.
We're not gonna get into Sword Art Online because we'll go to Horror.
That could be fun.
The other two people that I'll bring up right now is her name is hard. It's Teltina. Teltina, the princess Teltina. Yeah. I think she's a good character. I think she adds the level of comedic value because she's the one always pointing out the romance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think that adds to it. Like she's needed to make that romance pop.
Yeah, I mean, just her in general. I mean, it's cool to see. You find out later on, but like I think she said third in line now. But you find out that she's kind of the black sheep of the family at one point because her brother says that she used to be like the rebel or whatever. But she's the youngest, and she's on this whole mission to try and like save the world with just one person who she has as her hero, and it's like she does a whole 180 apparently, which I guess maybe we'll find out more about it. But just to see her like be so strong and like important for what she's doing was really cool.
Yeah, and
she's not just a random character, really.
I agree, and I think her whole shtick is that she's the only one that can remove these.
Safely.
What are they called? They're called seeds.
Yeah, I can't remember what, but they're seeds. Mana seeds, yeah.
She's the only one that can remove them safely.
Everyone
without killing the host.
Right, because they're either going to be killed or they have to be released by... I don't know, some powerful witch, I guess. You know, they have to be released or they have to be killed, and she can remove them without the killing process.
With her own too.
Yeah, which I think that was really.
Oh no, it was with her spell.
No, it's with her. She has her own seed.
Okay, so it's a seed. Okay.
So she
has both. So I got a little confused on that part.
She's and I think they're gonna do that later on, where it's like I was actually surprised that the king or who her father was like saying like, oh yeah, I want you to go back out there and do it. Because I thought he was going to be kind of cruel and say, oh, no, we're just going to kill them.
Well,
That's what I was
I
thinking.
mean, he told her that it wasn't in her hands anymore until she told him that she was the only one who could save them.
Yeah.
And then he gave her he's letting her try it.
Yeah, so that's the other character. There's one more character that we might want to talk about.
The fourth one in the party.
Oh yeah, Lowji.
Yeah.
Lowji.
Low. Yeah.
Low.
Lowji is hilarious. He's great.
He was.
He's great. He has him and Red are like they're like the buddy cop film.
Yes.
They have
so cool.
such great chemistry.
They do. Like
even though they don't, they have such great chemistry.
It's the classic rival thing. Even though Red's not trying to be a rival to him, he sees him as a rival because he thinks he's going to take away his love, his princess, and yeah, it's just so funny to see that shit. It's hilarious. I can't believe that they did the sabotages. That was wild. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, I'm really happy that his development throughout and him working with Red. Their collaboration on that one fight was really good.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Where like he slices them and then Red punches him.
Yeah, that was
really good. I mean, I think they're gonna do more in the future.
Mm-hmm.
There's one more character that I forget her name, but she's the holder of the scepter.
Oh yes.
And I'll leave that.
The something scepter. Yeah.
I love that character. I think she's great.
The Grand Mage or whatever, basically.
Yeah, she's like the royal mage or whatever.
Which it really is just good seeing her because she's basically the rival for our main character. She's like the big rival. Like she's holding the scepter that our main character's father held.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And she thought he did a terrible job.
Yeah.
And I honestly, when she explained it, I thought it was accurate.
Yeah.
I was like, you gotta have regulations on this. You can't be just throwing out. You want to save the world, it has to be all regulated. So I think she had a really good point, and I think that they're hopefully in the future they get to work that out, and they know that this is the right move.
I mean, she even agreed later on that like she understood that there needs to be like some type of regulation
after
everybody.
So that was the last character. Let's get to some memorable scenes. I mean, really.
Well, we're not going to talk about. Well, I guess it's
only memorable scenes and then pop culture reference.
No, not that. The last character that just jumped in.
Who's that?
The one that changed? Or it's just too early for that one.
Yeah, what was her name?
I feel like
I don't remember her name.
I feel like it's a bit too early for that.
Okay.
But I mean,
the Guardian of Almond.
Yeah, I'll let you talk about that when we get the pop culture reference. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was one more character that got added on episode 7. We don't know if she's going to continue with the story or where she's going to be, but definitely.
Yeah, she'll at least be in the next episode.
Yeah, so we'll get that when we get the 4 view, but you'll give it the pop culture reference when we get to that part. Yeah. I mean, my favorite scene is that in every oh my god, it's so great. Every single Power Ranger episode, it always ends with them.
With the
Megazord. Yeah, the giant machine kills the giant Godzilla-like creature.
Yes,
and it just so happens that in this anime, every time you use it, it never works except once.
I think it works like the first episode, and that's it.
Well, there was the other one too, where they were all together in one, where they took him. Red took him to space.
Okay,
and that was the other time.
Yeah, that's the second time. Yeah,
but then the cave.
The cave was fucking funny.
Yeah, there were just so many different scenes.
When he's trying to fight Low, and he's like, "I can't hit him."
Yeah. So like it did.
He knocks him out all the way to
he just wafts him out of space. Yeah. So it's funny that's kind of the trope of it all.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they brought that. I thought that was a really funny scene.
Yeah.
I think it's very memorable. Go ahead, because I got a couple more that I'm thinking of.
So I guess for me, I don't know if it'd be a memorable scene, but it was really cool to see them use. It's in I think the 3rd episode where, maybe the 2nd, but when he mends one of the relationships, one of the bonds between her and two other guys, but seeing them do the team up blaster, their secret weapon, and like all the Ranger episodes, basically when they take down the big bad before he becomes a giant monster, they put all their weapons together and they shoot him. Mm-hmm. It's kind of cool to see that. I don't know if we'd see that because none of the other Rangers are there.
Right.
So it was really cool to see that he still has his full arsenal, surprisingly enough. Yeah,
that was good, and I love seeing him all the times in the suit. Like they're just they're just like a lobby and like a bake.
I was gonna get into that more about that in a second, but yeah.
What about you, Joe?
Man, it's so hard because there's so many good, parts in there. Definitely one that stands out to me right now is the way she used up too much of her mana. And she started throwing up.
It was like sparkles.
She's like,
It was so like in the background too. It wasn't even like supposed to be a big thing, but it just happens.
Oh man,
I was so unprepared for that, dude. I just cracked up laughing.
There are so many like funny scenes like that.
Yeah.
Like the funny scenes with like every time he transforms, he does this like dance.
Yeah, he does the pose.
The pose.
And then it explodes behind him, and like it
that's
shows.
so fucking.
It shows
funny,
everybody
dude.
get affected by the explosion too.
Yeah, it's so funny every time. Every time.
The poses are great, but whenever when he was partnered with the that initial adventure group, and they all had a signature pose,
and they came after they used the
blaster,
weapon.
they killed it, dude, and they're all doing a pose.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, that was another one of my favorite parts.
I was laughing. So we were laughing. We were all laughing.
Oh yeah, but then it also goes to the fact that it's very self-aware with everything that Red does as a ranger. Like in the beginning, it's like, why is there explosions every time he does this? Or when the pose, all the other people are like, why are we doing a pose?
But he's totally unaware of it.
He's just doing it.
He doesn't see, and even at
nothing wrong.
And even at that, you know, like whenever they do their poses in Power Rangers and stuff like that, after they destroy the monster and the monster explodes.
Yeah.
Everything that, like, every monster or whatever that he's supposed to be getting, like, items from after these monsters, they get burned. They get burned because they were exploded, and it's just absolutely hilarious.
And he even does the little item pickup thing. He's like, you got burn claw.
Yeah, it's the best. It's like, oh, you're right. That
the self-awareness is really funny.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I do enjoy that a lot because it makes fun of the tropes in Power Rangers while also, like, just giving that nostalgic factor of it, which we'll get to in a little bit. But you're absolutely right.
The fight scenes were all really good.
I have to disagree with that though. With there is one instance where Low and Red are having a sword fight.
Yeah,
and it just seemed choppy. It just seemed choppy. That was it. That's just it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more referring to like when they fight, like when they double team the people that are back to back.
Oh, okay.
That one, I think that one like. The other one is whenever he fights the first fight they have. I thought that was really cool. There's a couple other ones in there, but the thing is, I always think of a good anime fight scene is they show actual hand to hand. A lot of times you see an anime where it's like they have a sword and they slice, and it's like just zooming out, and it looks, and then it's, like you don't get to see the actual.
You see the
you're just seeing like stills of them getting hurt. So that to me is just awful. Now, granted, it's not as great as other fight scenes like you see, like whenever like we're like a Naruto or Bleach or One Piece,
JJK,
like where they're actually boxing and they actually time. But really, this one was pretty good, and I thought it was really funny. I also like how the Red can never just make an entrance at all or an exit properly. Like he has to climb out of a window. He's like climbing. Yeah. He sees Lowji. He climbs up on the balcony.
He's like, can't you just ever make an actual normal entrance? He goes, no.
Like he comes in the back door where just like he just cannot make an entrance or leave properly
or being teleported into a bathtub.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, do you have any other memorable? I think that might be it for me.
I mean,
all the romantically charged moments are really good for me. I like that.
I mean, a memorable scene will probably be when he convinces secondary main character, the female. I'm gonna call her Y. When he tells Y, when he tracks her down, and they have that moment where he's telling her like, "Yes, I didn't agree with you at this time because I think you're wrong and she's wrong, but y'all can be right together." And like, still that he's on her side and he's never gonna falter from that, but expanding her mind to understand that her dad wasn't completely right to what he wanted. I thought that moment was very nice, very memorable. It was kind of funny to see him tackle her in the air out of the Megazord.
Oh yeah, well, which is it's good because it's like she's probably never been told that she was wrong.
She's also never explained it to anybody, really.
Yeah, like she probably was always thinking.
But I don't think she ever really understood because wasn't she young when her father died?
Yeah, when they got kicked out and everything.
But they were probably saying like, "Oh, your father just helped everyone," but like sometimes that's not the case. Like this other person comes in and makes safety regulations. Yeah, and it's like your father did help people, but also he allowed
a lot of problems.
Yeah, he allowed a lot of issues with the magic. So I think that she's never saw that perspective.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Any other ones we got?
I mean, it was kind of memorable to see that first teleportation when it worked.
Oh yeah,
when they did that.
Yeah, I agree. Like
that was cool.
Like the ultra bonding, like allowed him to like teleport to basically enact what something they can do in the real world.
Yeah.
Or his own world.
Yeah, the emergency teleport.
Yeah, where if you need someone, they're like in the middle of a business call looking at data sets, you can teleport to them.
The classic.
But I'm wondering if
Rangers.
that's like that's just his technology that's like interfering in that world, or is it just like something that's already there in that world too?
Or it has to do with that stone, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it has to do with just that stone. I think because she was talking about like how gemstones can be like mana can go into them into like the little.
Well, but that stone was that special thing you get in the first.
I think
episode.
it was just her magic that like did it, or like how I'm saying like whether it's his technology that's allowing that world to kind of do that, and then or if it's just already there but they haven't developed that. You know that's how true. Like whenever they go into space, they didn't know there was space. They thought it was the heavens and stuff like that. You know, but like. That's kind of like my question in there too, but
I think there was something there. I mean, I feel like the way that those crystals that she's referring to are the ones that were under the earth, the flow of mana under the earth, and then when they would breach the earth, they would crystallize.
Yeah,
and I think that idea because there was someone years ago that was apparently a ranger.
Yeah,
and then I think that was the discovery that they had that connected the two worlds.
Well, I'm just saying because she said that they don't know anything about it. That was like the whole point of him going to get it.
It was just like magic in crystal form, which helps people with their spells and stuff like that.
But the first teleportation, she was holding it and he teleported. So I think it may have something to do with that.
Because she said his name too at the same time. So like she had it by a thought. So like he teleported.
She could have been just horny.
I'm not saying she wasn't. I'm just saying.
We've seen. I mean, y'all seen High School DD. He was so horny before he died. So
that shit is something else.
All right, so let's get some pop culture reference. As you know, Power Rangers was Japanese. It was
Super Sentai.
Super Sentai, and really all of the Power Rangers we see now. The original one was just stock footage of the Japanese one,
yes,
with the dub, with an English dub. Over all the times there were Power Rangers one was the English dub.
Yeah, and then the only scenes that were actually filmed were the scenes where the Rangers were not morphed.
Exactly.
Of course, since it was the American actors. But yeah, every season of Power Rangers that ever's come out has been already made in Japan.
Yeah.
And they have so many other ones that we've never touched, as well as America has also done a couple extra Rangers that aren't a thing in the other series.
Like the Teal Ranger or something?
Well, the Gray Ranger Lightspeed was never a thing.
Oh, okay.
Ryan, he wasn't a thing in the Super Sentai Lightspeed. But, a lot of the stock footage was always used from Japan because they wanted to save on budget costs.
That's true.
But yeah, where were we going with that though?
Well, I was going to lead to that one character that you met that comes out in episode 7.
Okay.
That one, she's let me get her name right now. Her name is...
She's the protector of Almond, is what she was saying.
And she's on this list. Very interesting. Oh, there she is. Rania.
Yes.
Renaya. So she has her own type of morphing system.
Yes.
Right.
Unlike his is like a band of faces.
His is the typical morphing grid morpher, so to speak. Hers is going to be the Common Rider, I can't remember exactly what it's called, but they're morphers. They're always big, outrageous. They always have like multiple things with it. Like there's so many different ones, but like they'll have like a phone and then they'll pull a card in, put the card in, they put it in, and then they'll say henshin and hit it, and then they change. Hers is the same thing, except it's a giant book. A coin pops out, and she puts it in the front of the book, and then it says suit change or whatever.
Yeah,
was it not a belt that she had on her?
It's almost like a purse type thing.
Like she has like a belt, some type of satchel.
Yes.
There's like a pouch she has on her side where she's getting
K.
It's attached to a belt. I don't know any other person attached to a belt.
But yeah, it's supposed to represent Kamen Rider with their transformation. So like it's bringing in Super Sentai and then it's bringing in Kamen Rider and it's exploring both of the core foundations of what like Power Rangers are. And all the other shows that have been like around that, all the same, because there's so many they're different variants basically of like Power Rangers of Super Sentai.
Yeah.
That you have throughout the years.
Yeah. Was there any other references?
I mean, well, at the end of that episode, she talks about how there was originally a ranger there, and that she got the power. She's the 7th protector that has the Kamen Rider powers, but she also talks when they show a picture. There's a person there that's pointed out, which I believe is to be one of the Knights of Zodiac, which is another show back from I think it's the 90s. That was kind of like that, which is also kind of like Sailor Moon, where they harnessed the power. I believe it was not Egyptian, but Greek gods like Zeus and all them. And it's called Knights of Zodiac, and I think that's what they were showing in that one. So they also brought in that, which is also another type of like Power Rangers type thing where they morph technically. Is really what the whole point is.
So there's going to be probably they're pulling in everything.
Possibly there could be more.
I don't know how they're going to pull in Turbo. I just the whole space thing is brand new, which is kind of interesting.
True.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're going to bring that in, but I really yeah. Any other ones before we move forward?
I mean, when I was watching it, they did a lot of homages to the other seasons. Like each one of his Zords, that's a different sword from a different season. They have Lost Galaxies, they have Ninja Storm, they have Wild Force, Mighty Morphin, and then the other one was the Saber-Tooth Tiger from Mighty Morphin as well. And then his Morpher is poised to look like the Quasar Morphers from Lost Galaxy because it's just a big circle and then the thing down.
Yeah.
But then it also kind of takes in the Jungle Fury style because in Jungle Fury they put on sunglasses and then they do like a pose thing and then they say a thing and they transform.
Mm-hmm.
So for his, he pulls out the kind of Band-Aid thing and puts it on and then he does a little pose with it and then he transforms. He morphs. So they kind of took different aspects from other seasons and made a new type of morpher and a new type of morphing, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the characters, like the other Rangers when they show them, some of their masks and stuff look like other series too. Like the Pink Rangers look like Time Force, Gen. So it was really cool just to see them take the homages from all of Super Sentai and use it in little pieces to like hide it throughout the show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, so we won't talk a little bit about how it ended because it's not ended yet.
No.
This is all mid-season, but we can kind of predict where it's going. I mean, I really think that the whole, I really can see them playing off of this, this whole scepter build they're chasing. They're trying to get the scepter back, and I think they're really not going to get it back. They're just going to partner with her to be more safer community for mages to develop magic, and I think that's going to be a big part of them. Getting rid of these demon. I really, if you think about it, we saw one big bad that we don't even know who the real big bad. I'm assuming it's the Demon Queen.
Well, the Demon Queen is quote unquote, I think, sealed.
Yeah.
So that one dude said he was her son, right? Her spawn.
The Jester guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's one of the royal demons.
Yeah.
So yeah, right now they're the big bad, but then you also have the medium ones, which are the lords or whatever that are.
They have these mana swarms.
Yeah,
we're talking about the ones that are from that Amen realm, right? Or are we?
Well, no, because like the Jester demon is.
Oh, that's right.
He admitted
that's right.
that he's one of the big bads, but they're the one giving the seeds to everybody else to corrupt them, knowing that they're going to use their power for evil now, and that's also whenever they, I guess, get into a fight, whenever they get hurt enough, the seed will take over and transform them into a monster.
Yeah.
So knowing that it's going to wreak havoc is what they're whole trying to do.
Yeah. So I think
it'll assimilate, and then the corruption will just take over.
Yeah, I can see multiple seasons with them getting, and eventually this Demon Queen, breaks out, and that'll be like the big bad of the entire anime.
I'm pretty sure by the end of the season she's going to get freed, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, they're already kind of hinting that, like, this Jester character, they didn't even beat him, by the way, which makes it even weird. They couldn't even beat him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, literally, if you think about it, he landed one punch.
And that was when he got, like, really upset and started getting, like I don't know.
I guess when he thought
like a power buff or something.
He was like radiating with anger.
Yeah, you could
I guess. I felt like that was gonna be like some type of corruption or something that they're gonna probably use later.
I thought we were gonna see a battleizer. Like I'm still wondering if we're gonna see any type of a battleizer because every Red Ranger has one.
I don't know what that is.
It's like the power up suit that they get, basically.
It's like a suit on top of their suit?
Yeah, it's called a battleizer. It's like almost like a robotic suit that they get. Each one's different. Every Red Ranger has one. I thought we were about to see his, but I don't know if he has one yet.
Oh, that'd be kind of cool.
But he did get this aura that very much changed his demeanor and also like made him, I guess, a little more powerful.
Yeah, you stuck him.
Because even Lo says what happened with your voice whenever he's like, don't do that again. Whenever he talks about saving him.
Oh, yeah.
He hints at it. So I feel like there's something dark there that we may see more of with Red.
Yeah, and that'd be kind of interesting. Like, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, do you have anything else? I mean, I think that covers up the mid-season review. We'll do a full review whenever we're back in town and working for the anime, because we only have like 5 episodes left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, anything else?
I think that's about it.
Solid so far, though.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Highly recommend it, especially, I mean, if you just want a nice adventure anime and, like, something that can hit the nostalgia factor of, like, Power Rangers, because most people watch that as a kid at one point or another.
Yeah.
That's really nice, and it does play into it. I say give it a check out. Let us know what you think.
Agreed. All right, guys. We'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Later.